So there was this one guy, and every time I would go to my maths class, just take the fucking piss out of me, treat me like a joke. I mean, I was the butt of every joke, and it's not that I'm not sure if he hated me or not. Couldn't tell, to be honest, but he definitely didn't respect me, because to make fun of somebody so much, you're either so fucking close to them that they can't possibly be mad at you because you're just so close of a friend, or they really don't respect you at all. And we were not that close, I can guarantee that. So he clearly didn't respect me, didn't really like me that much. And I remember I was having a really hard time dealing with this because it was every maths class. But there was this one friend, and I found him to be quite an mature guy, emotionally mature person. And I just called him one day and I told him about this situation. He listened to me for like an hour or something. I immediately felt so much better. But he gave me this advice. So the next time this guy, the guy who always made fun of me at class, I got to class this next time and he was making fun of me and everybody was kind of listening. I kind of just said, oh, yeah, I don't really appreciate that, mate. It's not nice. Like, you're being a bit of a... I don't know if I would have said it like that, but I said, yeah, you're making me feel like shit, bro. And I said that in front of everyone. And I don't know if I on purpose did this or not, but I made him feel so guilty. Like, me saying that to him one-on-one could have made him feel guilty, but instead I did it in front of the whole class. And I noticed immediately he kind of stepped back. He was like, oh, my bad, bro. He kind of, he obviously wasn't happy about it, but you're teaching, if you don't set boundaries, people are going to run you over. It's human nature for everybody to try and take advantage of everybody. You can't be easy to take advantage of. I think it's really a brutal truth that a lot of people aren't good people. That if you don't stand up for yourself, if somebody's making fun of you and you don't stand up for yourself, I think everybody will just keep joining in. That's bullying 101. There's somebody comes and they're mean to this person and they don't do anything about it. They just ignore it because they think it's going to get better. But when you don't react, people just keep doing it because they know they can get away with it. But if you sternly say, I don't appreciate that, mate. If you look someone in the eye, they've just been a dick to you, and you say, that's not very nice, mate. And you tell them that they're being a shit person, and you make them aware, and maybe even you make them feel a little bit guilty when they're around other people. I firmly believe any good person or anybody who's not a terrible person, which is most people, would at least not make fun of you as much. This is a hard line to manage, but you always need to stand up for yourself. And I think this is the most important part of how to deal with a disrespectful person, is to first of all just let them know that they're being disrespectful, because sometimes, in my opinion, they get carried away. Now, bro, before I get into the rest of the advice, just click the subscribe button right now if you like the videos, and follow me on Insta. You can message me or whatever if you have any questions. But I got something to say, right? Got something to say. There was this one time where I was sitting in class and this guy was being an absolutely horrible person to me. He just kept ripping into me for 10 minutes, being a dick. And he said something really, really disrespectful. And I had lost my temper. But I learned something, one of my friends had taught this to me. I looked at him and I said to him, yo, do you want to say that louder? And I said this really loud. And for some context, we were sitting in the middle of a classroom. So everybody heard me say, hey, do you want to say that a bit louder? And everybody went quiet and they wanted to hear what he said. And he didn't say it in front of the whole class again, because that instantly got through his mind that he had done something. He had said something that was really wrong. And I instantly shamed him for being a bad person. Undoubtedly, this pissed him off. But also, undoubtedly, the only time where he stopped making fun of me so much was after I made him feel guilty every single time he would make fun of me. There was this one time where there's this group of guys who I thought that I was becoming friends with, because I'd started to speak to them at the gym a lot. I started to have good banter with them, good laughs. But every time I'd sit down near them, they were just really mean to me. And, it's definitely Australian humor to make fun of each other, but this was not that. This was not Aussie humor. This was just that I don't reckon they respected me or liked me that much. And every time I would sit next to them, I would leave in a terrible mood, feeling really horrible about myself. And I realized that they're not good friends if every time I hang out with them, I leave. I don't feel respected, I feel horrible about myself. And I stopped sitting with them, and guess what? Immediately, I felt better about myself. And I just sat with people who were better friends. Now, obviously, they weren't as interesting and fun to sit with, but they also didn't make me feel horrible about myself. And sometimes I feel like you just need to create that distance from people who aren't being great to you. If you can't stop the distance, honestly, that's a really difficult topic. So feel free to message me on Insta and ask me about that. Subscribe. I'll talk about other stuff in my future videos. Hope you have a great day, brother.